With voting having wrapped up on Sunday for the 2019 GAC Legacy Awards, we take this time now to speak to our winners. And at this time, in the category of Best Performance in a GAC Men's Championship, we bring on from the men's basketball champion, Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm, the MVP of that week, Micah Speight. Micah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
When I bring up the GAC championships from this past year, what's the first moment that comes to your mind?
Probably just winning, really. Honestly, I mean, that was a great feeling. Like, it hasn't been done twice in a row. So just being able to experience that with my teammates and the coaching staff was really exciting.
Yeah, as you said, being the first to repeat, and with just the slew of returners you guys had from the 2018 team, how much different was that just going throughout the year, having that certainly the target on your back of being the champions and being roughly the same team, so it's not like you had a whole fresh new set of faces. Were there more challenges this year leading into
For
Bartlesville?
sure. For sure there was, because we knew, like, there was a bigger target on us. So just us playing together and believing in one another was making it a key to finish it off again. Yes, sir.
So you survived through the regular season. You're our regular season champions, top seed, and so you get to Bartlesville and you draw Ouachita, which I would put up as one of the harder 8 seeds any conference could put forth. And that game, as it played out, was a tussle all the way, and it wasn't by far and away your best game of the week, but you had the clutch play late. Just walk us through that game and how the team was responding to what was certainly one of the more challenging opening round games we've seen.
For sure. I mean, through the year, we preached, like, stay together and, like, we are built for moments like this. So, like, as the game was winding down, we knew, like, we had to make the right play. So in the huddle before the timeout, we're all encouraging one another, telling each other we're going to be okay and stuff like that. So just trust the process, stay together, and we'll be all right.
And so the game winning play is your drive to the basket for an and one. Was that the setup from the timeout, or did the defense they showed, I guess, lead you to man and make that play, or at what point did you know you were going to try and take your man off the dribble?
It was really the timeout. Like, we talked about like what we are gonna do and stuff, and it's just like reading what the defense does to make the right play. So
And then to convert that basket and to hit the free throw, has there been a better moment for you at Southern Nazarene than that
uh,
one? Individually, I
I
know
don't think
there have been a
so.
couple couple
No,
couple better team moments, but one personally, if anything better.
I think that might be the top of my list for sure.
And then it leads to then kind of a crazy scramble at the finish where Washington's now inbounding the ball. You get a steal, almost no one knows it's happened, and now all of a sudden you're
Yeah.
up three before you're able to regather yourselves. Just how do you guys, play those final 10 seconds there?
Just staying together. We knew we couldn't foul a 3-point shooter at the time. Like, that's what coaches preaches, like, throughout the whole season. We never want to foul a jump shooter, especially with a guy like Martin on their team that's the best free throw shooter in the league. So we knew what we had to do and what not to do. So yes, sir.
And so you survive that one, and we hear it so often from teams that win. We saw it on the women's side with Southwestern that these opening games and these conference tournaments are so hard to come by. You then get a day of rest. How do you take advantage of that day of rest and to prepare for your semifinal with Henderson?
I think it's really huge. Like, it's very important. I mean, we all for sure got in the ice baths because we knew how big it was to get our legs back and be fresh. Because our next game was against Henderson State, and we know that it's not an easy opponent. So it's pretty key.
And so that game, obviously, you find you're shooting a little more with 6 3-pointers, I believe, in that game. At what point, how early into a game do you know that you're going to find more success, maybe being a penetrator and distributor versus relying on your outside shooting?
Just letting the game really come to me. My teammates just encouraging me because they know what I'm capable of. So just them encouraging me to make the right plays and just believing in me just gives me a lot of confidence.
And so you get through that one. Now you're back into a final, which I think is one, selfishly speaking, I was very eager to see is that third matchup with you and Southeastern. When the brackets were finalized, you knew as you were the top 2 seeds. Were you able to even allow to peek ahead to see them in that final? Were you so narrowly focused on just getting through each day before the tournament started?
For sure, each day, coaches always preach one game at a time. Will come, just stay focused on what's on like focus on the now, and then the rest will come for itself.
And so you do end up with Southeastern Oklahoma State, a team that I believe had had success with you guys. Um, how do how do you guys set up for that game, knowing they've got some very strong individual players with Buckingham and Dworsky and Manic, and I'm even leaving out some others there. Just what's the pregame speech there, knowing it's the game you're used to playing in, while they hadn't been in a GAC
Yeah.
final before.
Yeah, really just staying together and just trusting one another. We know they have great players, like you said, and Buckingham, the player of the year, and Dworsky at the controls. I mean, great point guard. We just knew like I don't think we went to their place, the number 5 team in the country, and lost by 30. And then we played them at home, and we knew they weren't an easy challenge, a cake walking the park and stuff like that. So just staying together and throughout the whole 40 minutes of the game, we know one possession means the most in the games like that, especially with a good team and how well they are coached. So
And so in that game, I feel it because I'm just on press row watching it and not having to live and die with it. Can you tell in the moment that you're playing a high level game where someone's going to win it? You're not going to get a 6 minute drought from them where you can go and score 15 in a row. Similarly, you're not going to go on a long drought and they're going to race out. Can you feel that in the game, or do you just kind of look back at it and say, "Man, that was a game"? Can you feel it in the moment?
yeah, for sure, especially with like a team like that, like playing them twice during the season, we just know what kind of game it was going to be. I mean, coach told us before, so just staying locked in throughout the whole game, knowing each possession matters, and it's very important.
And so it comes down to a final shot on their end, but they don't come through, and you guys win. Just take me through those final seconds. With them trying to tie and force overtime, and then just the elation that follows with you guys getting that, like you said, that second championship.
For sure. I think we had a really good defensive play. Kind of let Buckingham get loose at the end. He had a great look at the shot. With him being a great player, I'm like, oh goodness, he's probably going to make this. We're going overtime, but we came up short. Fortunately for us, and just seeing the time wind down and us going back to back, that was an amazing feeling. I wouldn't. Oh,
So often, in the case of these final second shots, if you're not in control, it feels like the play really slows down, or perhaps maybe it really goes by in a blink. For you, did the play slow down, or did it move so fast?
For me, it definitely slowed down. I mean, we played them in the semifinal last year, and Job he hit the game tying three to send it in overtime. So I'm just thinking in my head like, oh, it's about to be a repeat. We're going to overtime again with them, and just they shoot the ball so well, you can't expect them just to miss. So
And so now celebration's over. Get down to the all tournament team. Do you have a sense maybe it's going to be you're the last name called as MVP, or you're thinking maybe it's going to be Jonathan or Noah or even someone else? But do you think you're able to think that quickly that I have had a pretty good week and maybe it's going to that honestly go to my way, or are you as surprised as the names are announced?
really, I thought it was going to be either Jonathan or Noah, but as the name started going, like all my teammates are looking at me, even like Jonathan and Noah included, like MV3, like they're saying my number instead of the P. It kind of gave me a lot of confidence that I was going to win it. So I mean, just having teammates like that just makes everything fun. So
And so it gets down to another net cutting moment, and just and then back to your locker room. What's the snapshots from those moments that you could quickly recall?
just seeing the smiles on everyone's faces, everyone just happy, but knowing like we're not satisfied because our season wasn't over. So I mean, especially for like the seniors, with them winning 2 times in a row, trying to make a run in the national tournament for them. So it was fun.
Yeah, and this year you guys did get that clear that hurdle of getting your first win in the tournament. So hopefully that means that for you there's even more wins coming this next year. I know not everybody's back. There is a big 7 foot hole in the middle that you guys have to replace. But just what have been the early goals here in the summer and training with you and the returners? You and Jonathan as seniors amongst others to instill into the young guys that maybe didn't have as large a role or were on the team for these past couple of years, to knowing that this is now the standard. We're going to be top of the conference. We're going to be a postseason team, as opposed to when you were starting trying to build to that level.
Yeah, really for me and Jonathan is being seniors with a lot of young guys on the team. Just leadership. Leadership is probably going to be the biggest thing for us this year, and just making sure like the young guys stay focused throughout the whole season and work hard, which I know they'll do, but just maintaining that mindset.
I mean, we totally expect you guys to fulfill that leadership. We look to see you at the top of the standings for a third year in a row. As we wrap up here with the most outstanding performer from a GAC Men's Championship, Micah Speight from Southern Nazarene. This is where I turn the floor over to you. It's your Oscar speech moment. You can, since everything is done by fan voting online, we have no say other than maybe help pick the nominees. But you were one of the clearly early nominees that we were going to make sure was on the ballot. So we turn to you to thank the Southern Nazarene fans and all those who may have logged on to vote for you.
For sure. I just want to say thank you to everyone that voted for me. I mean, it really means a lot. I know the fan base at Southern Nazarene was at the tournament, and the support there was amazing. So I just want to say thank you so much, and I really appreciate it.
Well, Micah, congratulations. It was an awesome week there in March in Bartlesville, and perhaps to some surprise, we're going back again here in 2020. You guys can become the first three-time champions of the event. Good luck to you and the rest of your guys this fall, and we look forward to seeing how everything turns out in March. Thanks again for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. It's an honor.